So let's take you through the starting grid for Micromax Heat 1, Groups B and C. So on pole position, it will be Sees Moyes from the Netherlands, joined by Dominic Rosa from Hungary. Henry Möhring and Marc-André Quesada from France round out the top two rows, with Harry Taylor and Ilari Harmonen completing the top three rows. Row 4 is Jeff Verbeek and Benediktas Masiokas, with Kimi May and Osin Oman rounding out the top 10. Tafe Niskanen and Mikael Kumas on row number 6. Then we have also got Maria the Missile Roberto and Marius Reinhold rounding out row number 7. Stavros Dotos completing the top 15. Maximilian Kiel, George Lopkes, Nicolas Zelensky, Dimitar Lazarov, Tristan Abils and Oliver Hochheuter round out the 21 drivers that will be racing around this circuit. So the drivers are now on their official formation lap, ahead of 7 minutes plus an additional lap of racing. The Micromax drivers will take part in 2 out of 3 heats. So, as we said earlier, with DD2 and Masters, Juniors, and also Micros, it is 2 out of the 3 heats that the drivers will compete in. We've got a very, very long day here at Karting Genk. We'll be racing probably right up until about 20 past 6 this evening. A great drone shot there, showcasing the drivers into formation. All 21 of them. So they head through into turn 10. Great to see some of the people here watching from the grandstands at turn 10 at Cafe Corner. So Sees Moyes and Dominic Rosa on the front row of the grid as 21 drivers come out of the final corner. They split, they head into the tram lines, revs rise. Are we ready? Are we steady? Lights are out first time, and a good start by the pole sitter, but look at how the field is fanning out, heading into turns 1 and 2, and someone definitely sent a dive bomb through into turn 2, and I think it's just made up a bag full of positions. Oh, bit of a moment there for Sees Moyes, bumping over the curbs through into turn number 3 as they go through turn 5 on the opening tour. As up the inside, that is a change for the race lead. That is the number 66, I believe, of Ilari Harmonen. So we've had 3 off at the exit stage right point coming out of turn 6. Off of the Europolan, trying to make out the numbers. All 3 drivers trying to get back into the karts. One of which is from GKS, I believe. And that driver has managed to get going again. One's got their wheels spinning. That's Tafe Niskanen in the number 7. I think the other one was Kimi May in the number 15. Both very much sunken into the dirty, wet mud and grass. As after the opening lap leading the way, it is Henry Möhring from Germany that leads the way. Harry Taylor, Ilari Harmonen, and Sees Moyes ran at the top 4. Dominic Rosa down to 5th. And here's a replay of that incident. Oh, it was actually... Oh, that was a big one there. And one of the drivers, Marc-André Quesada from France, got away with it. Oh! Sees Moyes around and bangs the steering wheel in frustration, coming into the path of the number 20, 22 of Maximilian Kiel, but that was a big old moment. That was 4 karts involved, and that would have been coming through. I think that might have been even as far as turn 2, because there is a lot of tyre tracks actually coming through off of turn 2, and that's heading onto sort of turn 5. So a lot of drama. So Kimi May, Tafi Niskanen out of the race. Jeff Verbeek was the other one. That was the 26. And Jeff started down in 7th position. But we now come round to complete lap number 2. And it's Harry Taylor from the UK that leads, having overtaken Henry Möhring in the meantime. Ilari Harmonen holding on to 3rd position, ahead of Dominic Rosa and Austin Oman from the United Kingdom. Benediktas Maziokas, George Lobkis, Maria Roberto, Marius Reinhold and Mikael Kumas now complete your top 10. Sees Moyes on a comeback charge, fires it up the inside of Mikael Kumas through into turn 6. As Taylor leads the way through into 7, now into the right-hand sweeper here at turn 8. And it's a 5-way squabble. That's a bit brave there. I think that was Austin Oman trying to look up. Well, Austin Oman, I think, is now up into 4th place, so that could have been Dominic Rosa that were trying to go for the move through at turn number 9, and it didn't quite work out. It's actually Ilari Harmonen who's on the CRG. But there has been a change for 2nd position, because Henry Möhring is no longer in P2. Dominic Rosa now is in 2nd, and now has got, that's Möhring that's just taken the race. That's not Möhring that's taken the race lead. It's Rosa that's taken the race lead. So the 24 now up into the race lead, having started from the outside of the front row. Harry Taylor started 5th and is now currently P2. And that was Ilari Harmonen on Austin Oman. Now retakes 4th place. Benediktas Maziokas is definitely factoring to this. Oman looking up the inside of Harmonen through into turn 7, but the Finn keeps it round the outside and stays in 4th position. Great work there by Ilari Harmonen from Finland to retake that position. Austin Oman sent it. Harmonen went, no you don't, I'm keeping it pinned to the outside. And that was that. But Dominic Rosa from Hungary leads the way. Harry Taylor in 2nd. Henry Möhring from Germany in 3rd. 4th, it's the battle between Harmonen and Oman. Maziokas. And then we've got George Lobkis. Seismo is now ahead of Marius Reinhold, with Maria the Missile Roberto rounding out the top 10. 2 minutes and 25 seconds plus an additional lap still to go in this first of 3 Micromax heats, as Seismo is battling away with George Lobkis running on the Intrepid chassis, the number 37. That's the battle for what is P7 on the road. But Rosa trying to steal a march on the opposition. Taylor, Möhring, Harmonen, Oman still not giving up at this moment. As Harmonen goes for 3rd on Möhring through turn 10, and the Finn neatly takes the position off of the German. But they've got to watch out, because Austin Oman is there waiting in the wings. Seismois through on George Lobkis. That's now a change for 7th position, but Lobkis will have the slipstream. Henry Möhring just signalling to Austin Oman, come on, just work with me. And Ilari Harmonen drops 2 positions in 1 corner, gets back through on Austin Oman, who has the traction around the outside of turns 3 and 4, and the Brit keeps 4th. So we still have, out of the 21 drivers, we have, I think, 19 still running. Well, Jeff Verbeek, I'm just waiting to come through. Has just come through, obviously involved in that 4-kart incident earlier on at the start of this race. But with 60 seconds on the timer still to go, still plenty of dramas in the offing. But keep your eyes on Seismois and George Lobkis, who are closing in on the 3 in front, which is being led by Harmonen. You've then got the number 12 with Benediktas Maziokas, who's just been passed by Seismois, who's on an absolute tear at the moment. The young Dutchman trying to get through, now up to 6th position and is closing in on Austin Oman for 5th. Lobkis gets through on Benediktas Masiokas for what is now 7th position. But Dominic Rosa from Hungary leading the way by nearly 8/10 of a second. Sees Moyes up the inside. That's on Osterman. Is that going to be 5th? They are rubbing sidewalls down the Europolan into turn 6. Sees Moyes, the number 34 for the Netherlands, retakes 5th position. Great comeback drive for the young man on the Birel ART chassis. Lobkis now also looking to try and get through on Maziokas, but that's going to be easier said than done. Timer has hit 0. And this time we'll get the final lap board on this particular occasion. Harry Taylor, in the meantime, still battling away with Henry Möhring for what is effectively second on the road. So Rosa still leads the way. Harry Taylor in second. And Sees Moyes is trying to get through on Ilari Harmonen for that 4th place. And here goes Möhring up the inside of Taylor through at turn 6. Taylor carries the momentum through out of the corner. It's side by side, wheel to wheel into turn 7. The German gets through on the Brit for P2. And Ilari Harmonen is leading the freight train behind. Sees Moyes is in there, along with Austin Oman, George Lobkis, Benediktas Masiokas, as the drivers make their way through out of turn 10 for the final time. But our race leader, Dominic Rosa, who started from the outside of the front row, it's going to be a win for a Hungarian driver here on Belgium soil. Dominic Rosa takes the checkered, wins the opening race of the day for the Micromax class, ahead of Henry Möhring, who takes P2. Harry Taylor at one point was leading, takes 3rd, ahead of Ilari Harmonen. And we've also got Sees Moyes, Osterman, George Lobkis, Benediktas Masiokas, who round out the top 8 positions in that race. Well, Micromax showing the older drivers how it's done. Some great racing, of course. We did have the big incident, but there is Dominic Rosa, your race winner for Micromax Heat 1, Groups B versus C. Ahead of Henry Möhring and also Harry Taylor from the United Kingdom. Ilari Harmonen definitely in the trenches. Sees Moyes making a comeback. And then some. Austin Oman also in there, along with the likes of George Lobkis, Benediktas Masiokas. Also Maria Roberto doing a great effort there. There's the results. Rosa takes the win by nearly 2 seconds ahead of Möhring, Taylor, Harmonen, Sees Moyes, Austin Oman, George Lobkis, Benediktas Masiokas, Maria Roberto, Marius Reinhold rounding out the top 10. Mikhail Kumas, Maximilian Kiel, Marc-André Casada, Stavros Dotos, Francia, then Dimitar Lazarov, Nicholas Zelensky, Tristan Abils, Jeff Verbeek, Oliver Hochheuter, and Kimi May and Tavi Niskanen out on the opening lap of the race. So, the Micromax part of the Grand Festival very much getting underway. And with the sunshine in the air, the grandstand starting to fill up just off of turn number 10. We saw the lights go on and then the lights go out as Sees Moyes led the field heading into turns 1 and 2. Drivers fanning out, including the likes of Dominic Rosa around the outside, and then Ilari Harmonen deciding to fire it up the inside from way back nowhere to try and get through, and got up into second position. Henry Möhring would initially take the initial race lead, and then it would then fall to Ilari Harmonen to get through. Harry Taylor and Sees Moyes were very much in the offing, but then a big 4-kart incident, as you can see onto your screens. 4 drivers involved, Jeff Verbeek being with them, Kimi May, and then also I think you had the the number 2 involved in that, which was Quesada from France. 2 drivers retiring on the spot, but then that moment with regards to Seis Moyes not really helping the young Dutch driver in any way, shape or form, but managed to get back onto the circuit and would surge his way through the field. Harry Taylor would then start battling away with Henry Möhring from Germany for supremacy of this first heat, but that was not part of the plan. Ilari Harmanen trying to get through on Austin Oman for 4th place, with the Finn being very robust at times. But then the battle for the race lead really started to pick up speed, and then Dominic Rosa really did a great job to pull ahead of everybody else and keep an easy gap to maintain. Also some other battles, especially with the likes of Harmanen, really showcasing prowess in the number 66, but Austin Oman doing the Hail Mary round the outside at turns 3 and 4, just really showcased how good you can get the traction down out of turn 3 on the outside part of it. Seis Moyes would resurge through the field, first getting past the likes of George Lobkis, Benediktas Masiokas, and would try his level best to get through and get up into the top 4. Would then also manage to get through on Austin Oman. The pair were wheel to wheel down the Europalan between turns 6 and 7. Seis Moyes would have the inside line behind Ilari Harmanen and would make the move through on the Briton to take P5, which is where the Dutch driver would end up at the checkered flag. Also, whilst Dominic Rosa moved away into the distance, we had Taylor and Möhring battling away over what was second position, being millimetres apart, if not centimetres, heading down the Europalan and heading into turn number 7. But then Dominic Rosa managed to make it through and won the race by about 3 and a bit, quite a bit of time at the end of it. Nearly 2 seconds, Möhring taking 2nd, Harry Taylor taking 3rd, and a very jubilant Ilari Harmanen rounding out the top 4 ahead of Seis Moyes.